When you're black,
We were rolling. We were rolling, number one team in the state.
you always gotta watch your back, especially when you start winning.
How we feeling?
These high school girls are learning the hard way. Flag football is their game, but this year, they say it hasn't been the same. The team disqualified from their season, and their coach says he thinks he knows why.
Is punished for being good.
He says the team's near-perfect record has made them a target of sabotage. Other coaches are doing whatever it takes to get these girls off the field, and what they're allegedly doing may shock you.
He started messing with the girls' minds.
I'm Justin Carter, and this is TSR Investigates. April 2024, Irvington, New Jersey. Coach Kyle Steele says that he was getting his female student athletes ready for their upcoming flag football season. It's a relatively new sport for girls in New Jersey. And the Irvington High School team, they were on a winning streak. They won the state championship title in 2022, and Nike even flew them into Oregon to compete in a championship game. They won that too. But Coach Steele says at the start of their season back home in New Jersey, he knew something was off immediately when coaches on some of the other teams started postponing games with them for a very shady reason.
Our first game was supposed to be on like April 4th. We didn't play until I believe like April 17th. That was after like 4 cancellations.
It was becoming a trend. Week after week, the Irvington High School girls flag football team, they would practice, have their school even wear pink to support them on game days.
It felt like teams just didn't really want to play us because they didn't want their girls to lose badly to us.
But their coach, Kyle Steele, says he believes it was a trick. Coaches on the opposing teams postponing their games on purpose to skip Irvington. And what it does is it allows other less successful teams to play and get their feet wet, while the Irvington girls were forced to be stagnant.
I think they didn't want their girls' first experience playing to be a really lopsided loss to a team like ours. We had got to the point where we didn't even get excited no more when we were saying it was going to be a game. Like even that psyche, it started messing with the girls' minds.
Then on May 2nd, 2024, a devastating blow. Coach Steele says he got a letter from the Super Football Conference.
They were saying that they were taking our games away. We lost our games because the girls that we had were ineligible. They didn't even check to see if the girls played in all of the games.
He does admit 2 of the girls on his team were not technically Irvington High School students.
What makes a player eligible? What makes a player ineligible? Was that ever clear? Is there something in writing?
No, no.
And that's where it gets tricky. Girls flag football is not technically a sanctioned sport in New Jersey yet, which means that their constitution and regulations are still being written, but according to the letter, they must follow the State Athletic Association's rules regardless of its status as an official sport. The rules say, quote, that a student to be eligible for participation in the interscholastic athletic program of a member school must be enrolled in that school and must meet all the eligibility requirements of the Constitution, bylaws, and rules and regulations of the NJSIAA. Coach Steele, though, says that this has never been made clear in the past.
It's other teams that they let in the playoffs that was doing the same thing.
The Shade Room did some digging. In December last year, the State Athletic Association, which regulates school sports there, approved girls flag football as a pilot program for 2 years. They say it's because it's become so popular, noting that, quote, we anticipate continued increase in both the number of teams and number of student athletes participating during the upcoming season. It also goes on to say that, quote, conferences will also be permitted to continue playing under the rules that have been previously adopted. Member schools will continue to have the authority to determine their own sport participation policies for their student athletes, end quote. But Steele again says that the rules were never spelled out in written form or verbally. We checked the Super Football Conference website. It does not list eligibility rules, just rules about the game itself.
For us to not get any notice or for us to not get anything in writing or something like that, it's like I'm just screaming foul on it.
So you think race is involved?
I think it's race slash being good enough too, because some of the other teams that got it are a minority too. But those teams wasn't going to be good enough to win the whole thing. Our girls were going to be good enough to win the whole thing.
What are the basic rules for playing flag football?
Run.
Run.
That's senior quarterback Janasia Wilson on the Today Show back in 2022. She's a senior now.
I'm frustrated.
She was on the train when we spoke to her, but she says she's frustrated because this year was her last chance at another state title. She says for them to be pulled completely from the field was overboard.
Them doing this to us was wrong. I feel like we do deserve better.
As far as next year, you guys planning to take the underclassmen and try again?
It's a definite.
Coach Steele says that the flag football pilot program has been acting more as a club sport right now until it's up for sanctioning in 2025, which is the reason why he allowed students from other schools to join his team. It's also been alleged that other schools have ineligible players on their teams but haven't been investigated. Now, we did reach out to conference reps about this. We're still waiting to hear back. And roomies, real quick, we wanted to pause a little bit and tell you about something that the Shade Room has never done before. It's a new show where I'm inviting some of my favorite people to cook, eat, and dish a little bit of tea with me. It's called Dishing It with Justin Carter. And our first guest is the ultimate newsman, Don Lemon himself. We are so excited. He invited us to his fancy New York City apartment. That show is coming to you right here on the Shade Room's YouTube channel, 4 p.m. Eastern this Friday, and we cannot wait for you to see it. We'll see you there. For now, for TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.